Hey guys, Stealth here and welcome back to one of the special tournament battles. Some people sent in their designs, yet did not get picked, because of the random nature of the picking system. Yet they still wanted a battle, and with the Patreon tier, which I have at this point taken offline, you could do that. So, today we're going to see Brem and his Alexander Russian-class ship, and he's going to go up against the Germans. So let's see how this ship is looking. We had a bit of surgery on this ship. Let me explain. He sent it in. That's the Belarus. Here we go. Yeah, we're still going to have to do surgery because the game didn't save that. See, he sent it in under 1.4 point something. We're currently running this again under 1.3.9.9, so you're looking at a different design. That means we're going to have to do some fixing because the ship is not only overweight, but also way over budget. Where can I save some money? Let's see, if I set the... I don't want to tinker with the displacement and speed setups too much. Auxiliary engines can be pretty pricey. He's got modern armor 2. We can switch that back to modern 1. Yeah, the ship gets heavier. If we go back to Krupp. With Krupp, you're way over your displacement, but cost comes into line. Interesting, by the way, how he does not have any anti-torp protection. As for main guns, I didn't even cover this. We have 12 13.856s. 13.8, that's an interesting. 34-second reload. Lots of pen. And capped ballistic HEs. Well. Less fire chance. That is refreshing. That is refreshing. The ship does not have an anti-torpedo blister. Ooh. Living dangerously there. Also no sonar. Extra dangerous. Because you'll not only not hear the torpedoes, you'll also... Well, if you get hit, you're going to take serious amounts of damage. Some ships are carrying like 24-inch torpedoes. You don't want to get hit by that. Holy shit. What? 13 inches of superstructure armor. Yeah, that's a lot. I don't think that'll save people from certified extinction by HE spam, but it is an interesting idea. I don't think he's going to need all of that, and I think this is a pretty easy category to save weight on. Oh, and money. We're getting somewhere. I'm going to cut off a little bit of the main belt. 13-inch main deck, holy shit. 11. Okay, so now he is a little over budget. Where do I change this ship to make it feasible? I can take a little bit of the crew off. Crew level, there. Yeah, we got 300 tons. If this was my ship, I would want this thing to be improved a bit more. The aft belt is only 5.5, but it's already 14% stern. And there's a lot of empty bow deck space here. Okay. This is such a tough trade-off. Because on the one hand, I want to use that weight. I want to fill out that displacement. On the other, I don't want to sacrifice crew. Because... this was set to 67 for a reason, because at that point it's seasoned crew. Which does give you just that slight tick, that slight improvement. Where am I going to save some money? Like, switch this back to an AUX 1? It's not going to cut it. We need 8 million. This... superstructure is about half of what it used to be. That is a substantial downturn. Not ideal, but I think this ship can still do a lot of damage. And she can still take a lot of damage, just not from a torpedo. This is gravely concerning. And I had to reduce the double hull bottom from triple to double in order to not only save weight, but also budget. So yeah, double it is, and now we are at the budget. Secondary armament for the ship is a couple of 5-inchers and a lot of 3-inchers with a range of 8.9 or 8.7. That's going to be interesting. I don't think they'll do much, sadly. Because the 3-inchers, they don't have the range and they don't have the damage output. So they look nice, but beyond that, probably won't do much. So, it's going to have to come down to those 13-inchers, the 13.8s. Capped ballistic 2 AP shells. Super heavies as well. I wonder how many ricochets we're going to see from these. Because it's very, very hit or miss. Either they do a lot of damage, or they just ricochet off the ship most of the time. Let's see how this battle's going to go. Alright, here we go. Interestingly, we have Arkhangelsk, Yekaterinburg, and Admiral Alexander Mod 1. I had to rename the design, otherwise the game wouldn't exactly understand to use it. They already have a lot of accuracy. And they're going to be facing a German ship. However, not the German ship. This is the LordenIII class, as sent in by Yaniski. He also got featured in the video, all in on armor. Very heavily armored German battle cruiser with torpedoes, which happen to be the nemesis of the Russians. They only have 3, however. So if they're not able to use those, or if they're not able to send them, the Russians have nothing to fear. Now, much like the Germans, the Russians have a lot of accuracy. Yet, the Germans need 55 seconds to reload, and the Russians only need 34 seconds. So, when it comes to reload, the Russians have it, but their guns are smaller. These are 13.8s. Oh, they already got a hit there. The Germans, well, it's marginally smaller. They got 13.9s. But the barrel length is what distinguishes these ships. Because I believe the German ships have plus 20% barrel length. The Russians have plus 3. That's a substantial amount of difference in range. Like length of the barrel. But right now they don't seem to have any issues with accuracy. And yep, there we go. The all-in on armor ship. Already taking a hit and a pen right through the main belt. The forebelt, actually. Whoa, and the Russians are taking it on as well, as the Admiral Alexander is taking a hit to her stern and flooding. Okay. Now, I'm hoping for a nice clean, let's say, AP match with this ship. Well, this design, rather. Much more so than fire spitting. Considering neither really have any good secondaries, I think we're not likely to see it. The only way that they could is by loading high explosive into the main guns. The Germans have already lost a fairly serious amount of health in the first 2 minutes. That is concerning. Can they keep dishing this out? There is a lot of death in the air. Yep. The Germans get hit first, and the Russians, well, their armor mostly manages to negate those damaging hits. Oh, sorry, no. I'm looking at it all wrong. The Russians are now taking the damage. We're looking at 2.6k by the Russians, however. They have damaged the Germans a bit more. That's another, what, 36 shells? Or can you not fire everything? Yeah, they cannot fire their stern turret. So it's not quite 36 shells, but... Boink. Boink. That's a lot of damage. If only it would have penned. But the Germans, with their armor, managed to take the hit and pretty much shrug it off. However, the Russians have already reloaded the guns. And the Russians can keep doing that a lot faster than the Germans can. Also, look at that range, 40 kilometers. Ooh, serious damage aboard the Russian ship. We're now even for damage. Blocked. Overpen, partial pen. Not too serious. We got 3 compartments flooding aboard the Russian. They do have serious defenses against that. So they should be able to get it under control quickly. As long as the Germans don't throw their torpedoes at them. These torpedoes have a range of 23 kilometers, so they are definitely within their capabilities. It's just that the Germans, well, they might be a little hesitant to launch, because the AI will continue to maneuver these ships, and as such, the chances of actually landing a torpedo are really, really small. Now the Russians have the damage advantage, 4,400. Can you keep shrugging off these hits? You're still flooding? Dude. Partial pens. LordenIII under a lot of pressure here. Can we make this happen? Ooh. Yep, flooding, some fire. The torpedo launcher looks like it took a hit, but it's somehow still functional. The Russians are going to have almost no warning when those torpedoes come this way. I think that was a ranging shot, because they tend to do ranging shots only with 3 barrels, not all the guns. Uh-oh. Well, it might have been a ranging shot, but it definitely damaged the Admiral Alexander. And she continues to flood. LordenIII falling back. Oh boy. You're broadside onto the enemy, dude. Oh, more flooding. See, this is how I wanted the tournament battles to go. You're gonna have 2 ships slugging it out over ranges, and you don't rely upon things burning down. Now, it's not something I can exactly influence beyond saying, well, you cannot build that type of ship, or you cannot use that type of ammunition. I think it's a core game issue. Fire damage is just way too strong. And like many of you have already pointed out in the comments, a battle cruiser or battleship should not be set on fire if a compartment, let's say underwater compartments below the waterline, they should not be able to set on fire. Yet with high explosive, even with secondary fire high explosive, you can. Oh, this is not looking good for the Alexander. Well, she mostly shrugged it off. 9k damage done by the Germans. Sorry, by the Russians. 6.3 by the Germans. But it's not looking good for the Alexander. It's not so much her structural integrity. It's not so much the damage. It's the flooding. We got some little 5-inch damage trying to go towards the Germans, but really. Oh, that looks very accurate. Yeah. Yeah, that's not great. And another couple of hits. No, everything missed. By a substantial margin as well. It was a kilometer and change. Hold on, have you guys switched targets? No, you haven't. You're still going after the damaged German battlecruiser, which completed her turn, meaning that her stern turrets are looking the wrong way. Can they finish off this ship before the Germans finish off the Admiral Alexander? Ooh. Well, it could have been a lot worse. They turned into the broadside. Yet, armor did a really good job mitigating a lot of that damage. Hold on. The Russians are changing their plan. They're switching to high explosive fire, which suddenly can change them into an HE spammer, but they don't really have the type of HE shell for that. They've got capitalistic. So yeah, that will still set fires, but it's more about flat damage. And at this range, let's say 12, they can pen 10 inches of armor with high explosive. I hope the Germans brought their fire extinguishers, because this is looking like a problem. Ooh, almost 2k damage there in one shot. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 compartments flooding on Arkhangelsk. That's bad news, but the Germans might lose a battlecruiser sheerly due to fire very quickly. Oh boy. Yep, I thought we were not going to see this. Extensive fire. The ship wasn't even that badly damaged. Torpedo in the water. Not a threat. Arkangel's falling back. She's still flooding. Now, I know double to triple hull bottom is not that big of a difference. And their anti-flood is pretty good. I mean, they got maximum bulkheads. They got anti-flood 3, reinforced bulkheads 2. They should be fine. But flooding really seems to affect these Russian ships. The Admiral is still here, but she has some issues getting her guns on target. Not even looking at the fact that her B turret's been destroyed. And she's gone. Flooded! So, the rate that it's going, the Germans are going to need to either land torpedoes or very quickly overwhelm the Arkhangelsk if they want to balance this battle out. Destroyed the main tower. Yeah, here comes the HE volley. And as the HE volley connects, more fires are set. And considering that the ships also have no main tower to do damage control with, your damage control abilities, your ability to, well, to control the fires, severely penalized. Oh, come on. I thought this was going to be an AP slugging match. And instead, once again, we're looking at fire overwhelms. Now, credit to Brem, I don't think he was trying to build an AP, or sorry, an HE spammer. Because otherwise you don't set that really high capped ballistic HE shell. If he wanted to burn things down, he would have probably picked incendiary shells. But, well, they might have less chance to set fires. But it's not zero. As you can definitely tell by looking at the state of the German ship here. And just look at how much damage, like structural integrity damage, the ship takes from every HE hit. Ooh! Oh dear. That was a lot of damage. That was pretty much the first damage that she took, but that was 3.5k. That's a third of her structural integrity gone. And flooding amidships. She can still fire. 9.2 kilometers out. I don't think the German ship's going to be able to sustain this for very long. How many fires do you have going on? I'm afraid the answer is yes. It's not looking as bad as I thought it was. Lauenburg is not exactly a pretty ship at this point. But she's not burning to death. Yet. And she was not the one that launched the torp? Oh, there she goes. Hold on a second. Yeah, it was the lorry that launched the torpedo. Interesting. The lorry was the one that landed the torp. Yekaterinburg took a lot of damage from that, but she survived. And the flooding is now under control. Ricochet, 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 ricochet. Look at that. That's just a ton of shells that ricocheted off of that very serious main belt of the ship. I'm surprised the LordenIII, with its angle, is even able to fire. And, I don't think she'll be doing that again. Sometimes you can force the ship to get a couple of salvos off, okay. And sometimes it's just really random when these guns actually fire up again. Yekaterinburg once again flooding. This time, 4 compartments on the bow. I don't get it. Once these things go, it's like they take a lot of flooding damage. Oh boy. That is a serious HE coming in. 6 fires. You've lost 23% of your crew, and though the Germans have spacious quarters, you can't quite mitigate all that away. There we go. Destroyed it. Holy crap, that was a lot of damage. That was a lot of damage on Yekaterinburg. Bringing her down to 31%. 1600 damage, almost 1400 damage, 600 damage. LordenIII might be half dead, but she's still punishing the Yekaterinburg for being broadside like that. I just don't think that alone she's gonna have the DPS to do that again. If she can send out one more salvo like that, she might be able to take down Yekaterinburg. Yekaterinburg's still flooding though. Come on, try and even the odds, girl. Oh. A little bit of fire, but the damage was mostly mitigated by her armor. Oh boy! Yekaterinburg. Peppered, look at that waterline. That is looking pretty bad. She's flooding quickly at that. Buoyancy dropping to 24%. Due to angle, Yekaterinburg cannot fire. 19% buoyancy, 18, 17, what? Arkhangelsk. Desperately trying to get rid of this German slaying ship. Yekaterinburg, 11% buoyancy, and this could be the final nail in the coffin. Yeah, yep, she's gone. Structural integrity damage. Fair play to the Germans for very rapidly destroying the Yekaterinburg. That really changed the deal. I thought the Russians had it. Suddenly, it's not looking so clear. The Germans have taken a ton of damage. The Russians, well, buoyancy and structural not looking spectacularly good. Germany has more buoyancy but less structural. Yeah, look at that. If they are able to get those guns to fire, they will pen the main belt on the Russian ship. And in reverse, they cannot do that. Here comes the Russian salvo. I think the lorry missed entirely. She just, yeah, she did not take a hit. Arkhangelsk, 16% crew lost. All secondary guns have been destroyed. This is the type of battle I wanted to see for pretty much all the tournament battles. These desperate last stands. Oh, that's HE. That's not too bad. LordenIII has an angle issue though. Can you get those things to fire? You can't? Oh boy. Oh boy. That is bad news for Tourney. You're gonna have to somehow right the ship. There she goes! Salvo out. Arkhangelsk slightly angled, but not enough. Oh man, 21% structural versus 19. But Arkhangelsk is flooding. She's also listing over to starboard, so she too might have issues getting her guns to be available for firing ops. And I think she's running out of HE as well. So you gotta focus on main. Yeah, max AP for main shells. So this is definitely not a fire spammer. It's more by accident. Oh shit, she can't fire. So all she can do now is wait until she floods to death? That is a terrible fate. LordenIII is still on fire. Oh boy. Is that going to be it? Ooh, yeah, that's it. Structural integrity is holding, but buoyancy isn't. Arkhangelsk is down. See, this right here, this is a good fight. This is the type of content that I want to get you guys. This is the type of stuff that I was looking for in the tournament right here. So, victory to the Germans. But at what cost? Because the LordenIII is going to need to get a whole lot of repairs done. Yekaterinburg, Arkhangelsk, and Admiral Alexander, well, they won't be coming back either. Damn. Good fight. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me know what your thoughts are down below in the comment section, and I'll see you guys soon for another video.